Okay, so like I said, when you introduce somebody, you're going to say kochira wa blank desu. Let's say that together. What's a generic name we can use? Steve. So we're introducing Steve. We're saying this is Steve. How will we say it in Japanese? Kochira wa Steve desu. So let's say it together. Kochira wa Steve desu. Right? This is Steve. And you'll hear a lot of times when people will get a mysterious phone call from someone, they will say, dochira-sama desu ka? Which means, who is this? Who is calling? So this kochira, sochira, achira, dochira, that's very commonly used as a more polite way of saying, who is it? Okay, in the same way, when we talk about where, we say doko, koko, soko, and asoko, which we talked about already. Where, here, there, and over yonder. Okay, so let's say this: doko, doko, koko, koko, soko, soko, asoko, asoko. Right, and that's how we talk about directions. And then now talking about nationalities. So when we talk about nationalities, people, this is the symbol, the Japanese symbol for person, right? And this is said jin. And so all we do is we put the country here and add jin, and that means that's their nationality, right? So for us, we already know Japan is Nihon, right? So Nihon jin is a Japanese person. We ourselves are America. We live in America. And so, of course, we are America jin, right? And this goes on throughout this chapter. France. And so, France jin is French, right? And so on and so forth. So, Spain, so Spain jin, right? And so on. So that's basically how nationalities are said, is Nihon jin, America jin, France jin, Spain jin. 私はアメリカ人です。私の妻もアメリカ人です。私の子供たちはみんな dual citizen です。ですからアメリカ人と日本人です。So all my three daughters, they are all Japanese and American citizens. And then of course you got your question word, which is narijin. If I can write it. Narijin desu ka, which is what's your nationality? Or his or her nationality. Okay, narijin desu ka, and you need to know these countries. So we've got America, hard to forget. Chugoku, which you need to remember in hiragana, Chugoku, because it's written in. It is a foreign word, but it, the Chinese were involved with the Japanese before the Westerners showed up. So hiragana is used with it, and also this is a symbol for middle. So China is called the middle country. So Chugoku, right, which is middle country. Kankoku is Korea, but mostly South Korea. North Korea is Kita-chosen. Yeah, great place. France and Spain and Deutsche, it's important to remember that they call Germany Deutsche because, of course, Germans call themselves Deutschland. So they tend to take the more Germanic sounding way. They don't say Germany, they say Deutsche. Okay, and then the final stuff is these right here, which is gatsu. So the ending, and the reason why they're teaching this first is because the days of the month are kind of like the counting, hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, itsutsu. They're very difficult to remember. And so they're going to teach you this because it's easy, right? Ichigatsu, nigatsu, sangatsu, yongatsu, or shigatsu, gogatsu, rokugatsu. So all the months of the year are just the Japanese number plus gatsu. Okay? Real easy to remember. So what's January? Ichigatsu. What's February?
Gatsu.
What's March?
Sangatsu.
What's April?
Shigatsu.
So not yongatsu, it's actually shigatsu. They tend to do that, I don't know why, but shigatsu. What's May?
Gogatsu.
What's June?
Gogatsu.
July?
Shigatsu.
August?
Hachigatsu.
September?
Kugatsu.
So it said kugatsu. October?
Jugatsu.
Jugatsu. November?
Juichigatsu.
Ju-ichigatsu. And then December?
Junigatsu.
Junigatsu. So that's how they, oh, the wind picked up. So that's how they do the months of the year. And the month, so just to kind of introduce this to you ahead of time, this is the symbol for day because this is the sun. It doesn't look like a sun. The sun's not a box. But this is how they write day, and so they'll write something like 24. That's the 24th. Nichu Yokta. And then this is the month. And this is the moon. Okay, that's what the moon looks like. And so for today, let me write a little bit better here. So today is 10月 or 10月29日ね。29日, right? And so usually in the Japanese, they'll write it here on the board. And that's very common in Japanese schools. They'll write the date on the side of the board. So the last thing to teach is nangatsu, umare. So umu is to give birth. Umareru is to be born. And so nangatsu umare desu ka is to ask people what month they were born. Okay? Perfectly pointless question. No, you're never going to use it. But it kind of introduces the idea of the nangatsu, or what month of the year is it. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead, everyone stand up, ask the person next to you or around you, get 4 people at least, 5, let's say 5. So you're going to ask them, onamae wa nan desu ka? What's your name? Write it down. And then you're going to write, nangatsu umare desu ka? Nangatsu umare desu ka? When were you born? And they're going to give you the answer. Watashi wa 1月生まれです。1月3日です。だから、クリスマスプレゼントもらわない。Yeah. If you were born around Christmas, you know what that's like. You don't get a Christmas or a birthday present. You just like, okay, here's your Christmas present. Actually, my oldest nephew, he was born on Christmas Day. It's bad. And my sister, 私の妹は、7月生まれです。7月生まれです。When was she born? July. So she gets presents up and down, and I never get it. Because I'm 1月生まれです. OK。じゃあ、